And I thank you all for your continued energetic blessings. Greetings, dear soul. In Lakesh Alakim, I am another you. You are another me. We are one Godsciousness. And I am Crispy. And today I'm going to give you Mayan embodiment in a nutshell. Fair warning, it's a very large, cosmic, multi-dimensional nutshell. So I've made a PowerPoint presentation to help explain it to you. Let me bring that up and we'll get started. Desktop 1, and here we are. First, I'm going to make me disappear, but I'm still here, don't worry. All right, so what is Mayan embodiment? Oh, well, first of all, we need to know, what is the Mayan calendar? So these depictions show little notches as though it were clockwork, and it is in a way, but it's kind of smoother to think of like this. And what exactly is it? Well, it's 2 cycles going around and around and around. 13 numbers involving inside 20 symbols equaling 260 days. And this also revolves inside 365, which is called the Hab. There are many other Mayan calendars, but we are only going to be talking about the 260-day Tzolk'in calendar. So your birthday is a number which we call a tone. Here is tone 7. A bar is 5 and 2 dots. And then you have a symbol like an eagle. And 7 translates best to reflecting. So this is an example of reflecting eagle. And here are a bunch of reflecting eagles. Oh, look, one is me. Now, I love telling people who the other people are who share their same Mayan birthday, by the way, and I always tell my clients. Now, why are they called tones? Well, first of all, there are 13 tones in a scale called an octave. Now, what it really represents is vibration, and you can think of it as a modifier. So the tones modify the glyphs. And another way to think of them is this. We do know they are circular in fashion and also like a wave or pyramid. And you can think of it this way and also circular like the glyphs. Now, it should be mentioned that I follow the Yucatecan coloring and directional system. The Quiche of the Highland Guatemala use a different system. However, it is based on the 4 elements, the 4 directions, the 4 seasons, and the 4 times of day, and also the 4 bodies, your physical body, your spiritual body, your emotional body, and your thinking body. That's red, white, blue, yellow. So you may have seen this example of another way to think of the calendar, and this is possibly the most psychedelic thing I've ever seen in my life. Why? Well, because here's another version, by the way. I don't want you to think of it as only these black days, which there are 52 of them. They do represent something we're not entirely sure what it is, but this pattern that is here is very interesting. This is the multidimensional aspect. And if you think of time being stacked up in this way, what does that give you? What image? What feeling? Well, how about this? Does that help? Oh my consciousness, it's DNA. Now, why is that so awesome? Well, barring accident or anomaly, all humans are born with 20 fingers and toes, but did you know we also have exactly and only 13 major joints of articulation? Other than the joints of our fingers and toes, we have 13 major joints because of DNA. So one more thing. This is an average globally, and I would also believe it to be for a representation of the last, let's say, 20,000 years, possibly way, 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 way more. Takes about that many days to make a baby. Human baby, that is. So, the Divine Mayan Tzolk'in calendar is multidimensional. Now, the first recorded Mayan Tzolk'in date carved in stone is approximately 2,870 years ago. There may be others that are older, but we are still learning. So let's continue, shall we? Now, this I'm going to leave for a screenshot for 3, 2, 1. But what you really need to know is this: the precession of the equinoxes is precisely 26,643 years and 310 days, which is exactly 36,000 Tzolk'in, meaning 9,360,000 days long. Therefore, the Tzolk'in is a fractal of human DNA and the precession of the equinoxes. That is blowing my mind. It always does. It always has. It's hard to imagine some people in the jungles in Mexico just coming up with this on their own. And you know what? They didn't. It actually came from the Pleiades. And if you don't believe me, believe the Maya. In this video here, I explain all of the sources that show the Mayan history of Pleiadian involvement. So, what is Mayan embodiment? Well, aside from this, which I will explain later, you can think of it as soul cartography. What I can reveal to you through Mayan embodiment is your soul mission, what you came here to do that has nothing to do with your ego. In particular, unless you align your ego with your higher self, then you will be supercharged on your journey. So how is it different from regular Mayan astrology? Well, here's an example from one of the most famous books on the subject. These are both from the same book. It's basically called the Mayan Cross, although this system is also called Mayan Destiny Path or the Mayan Tree of Life system. Here's from another very popular site that doesn't even show you your tones. And from the same book, this is the path of the feathered serpent, or the lightning path. But I studied those systems for years and could not internalize it. I read everything I possibly could. It wasn't sinking through. And one day I was sitting in meditation and zap, this came through, not the steps behind me. And in fact, this is what it would have looked like if someone else was watching me. I felt myself inside the wheel of 20. I felt my hands very gently and carefully being held. My thoughts were going back to my past. My eyes were looking forward to my future. Now, this lasted for 1 second. It completely blew me away. And it took me at least a year to unpack it. In fact, I didn't even try to draw it for about a year. And then I started to study all of the patterns through this new perspective. Now, what I do for you is teach you again your birthday, which is your core self, as I call it, and your 4 guides, which I always teach in this order: Past Wisdom Guide, Divine Feminine Guide, Divine Masculine Guide, and your Future Vision Guide, for the reason that if you look at my Past Wisdom Guide, you can see the tone there, 2 bars, 2 dots, that's 12. Divine Feminine, 13. Divine Masculine, 1. Future Vision Guide, 2. This is the exact same pattern for everyone. No matter what tone you were born on, you add 5 to get to your Past Wisdom Guide, and then you go up 1 for each of those positions, which is why they're taught in that order. Why the pink and blue, Crispy? Oh, I thought you'd never ask. If you superimpose the brain, and as we know, we go forward into the future to get to your Divine Feminine Guide, 6 steps on the wheel and 8 steps to your future vision guide, both governed by the left hand, meaning the right brain. This, by the way, in no way can be seen in the other systems at all. So what came through me is a higher level of information, and that's what I am here to transmit to you, my friends. One other difference is I was also shown the vision of including the chakras in this manner. Now, we've known for at least 35 years, when this book was first written in the middle here by Hunbat's men, that the Maya knew all about the chakras, but due to certain people coming and doing certain things, all that information was lost. However, it came back through me. I can also show you in this video on my channel lots more about that. Here's me and Hunbat's a group of 13 people he taught one day in 2001. So like I said, I've been studying this a long time, actually since 1998. One other difference with Mayan embodiment is the fact that I was also shown the fact that tone 6 and tone 11 should be taught upside down, because it adds such an enormous amount of information to see these tones in this way, combined with what I now call the chakra pyramid pulse wave. In many places in Mexico and Guatemala, they just call the 13-day cycle a trecenia, which has no particular information other than the word 13 in Spanish. So I'm like, sorry, not interested. Next. What I do for you is create your exact empowerment circle. And then for each position, so you have 5 positions, your core self and your guides, I create what I call high vibration code phrases. For example, these ones, screenshot if you want. Next. But wait, there's more. If you order a reading from me, you will also receive this 58-page PDF, which includes 12 months of the following 12 months. I always update them every month. I put in the next month of the following year. All the patterns are in there, all the key code words for every glyph, and many more things, such as very precise shadow ego work, which I will walk you through face to face if you want. And there's also enough instructions and a link to a video that you could do it on your own, which many of my clients prefer. Also is a very clear explanation on how the color families relate to each other, in addition to the daily flow, red, white, blue, yellow, red, white, blue, yellow. Now, one other thing that I will do for you is create these empowerment wheels for your whole family if you want, for as many people as you want, showing you all the interconnections between the important people in your lives. And did you know this? The Mayan calendar is the only astrological system in the world that you can combine 2 people to make a third spiritual entity, explained in the work booklet. So, Mayan embodiment is soul cartography, my friends. Right now, I have a sliding scale of 77, 77 up to 260 for a single person, 200 up to 520 for a combination. And that means 3 full readings, the 2 individual people and the third person, and then the explanation of how person A relates to the third entity and how person B relates to the third entity. It's an enormous amount of work. It takes me about 8 hours to do a combined reading, and then we have a face-to-face on Zoom. These are all in Canadian funds. Another thing I love to do is a tarot throw using a regular tarot deck, but I arrange them in this pattern, which has proven to be quite effective and accurate according to many people. If you don't believe me yet, just pop on over to my Facebook page, take a look at the reviews. 27 people, some of whom I asked to do them, some of them who just did the reviews on their own after getting a reading from me, and or a tarot throw from me. So by all means, please give those a read. And they're all, because it's Facebook, you can see who they are. They're real humans. You can contact them if you want. So once again, my friends, this is my mission. This is my soul cartography, is to show you your soul cartography. It gives me enormous pleasure to bring this information through at this time. So please look me up and connect. I'm easy to find. I'm right here. You actually already found me. So let's do this. I'm excited. Let's make this year the highest vibration year of your life. That's what I'm here to help you find. In Lakesh Alakin, namaste.